I don't know if anybody remembers this theme. Very old school Royal Rumble theme right there. But
Sounds old school.
oh, very, very. Welcome to Let Freedom Ring. It is WrestleMania Saturday. I mean, I'm sorry. Did I say WrestleMania?
You did. I
Royal
was
Rumble
waiting for it.
Saturday.
Yeah.
WrestleMania.
If only we had the
Same
option
thing.
for editing. Royal Rumble Saturday. Royal Rumble, obviously one of my favorite days of the year, one of my favorite pay per views, but also one of my favorite holidays because I consider it one because all I'm going to do is Royal Rumble stuff all day. But we're going to get into some things here. We got Nerds of Wrestling here. We got the creator back in an episode, Justin Del Rio. He's been low key these days, but we got him here today. So welcome, Justin. We got
What's up? What's up?
we got Dylan Bracha here, and we got Josh Mears, all repping Nerds of Wrestling here on Let Freedom Ring. Um, we're gonna get right into it and talk about a few things. So, first thing I kind of want to talk about, I've seen this question come up on a lot of pages recently. Who is the first wrestler that you think of when you think of the Royal Rumble? Josh, we'll start with you.
Obviously, Dan, we've talked about this before. It's my all-time favorite wrestler of all time. That's good old HBK Shawn Michaels. Winning the Royal Rumble, coming in number one in '95, winning it again the very next year. That man to me is synonymous with the Royal Rumble. He's had a lot of big moments that I'll probably come back to and talk about later. But 100% HBK is Mr. Royal Rumble to me too.
Awesome, awesome, Dylan. How about you?
It's funny because I actually had Shawn Michaels written down for myself as well, but I can change my answer a little bit because he's also very synonymous with the Royal Rumble. I'll say Stone Cold Steve Austin, the only three-time winner, one of the best to ever do it.
And it's funny because that's exactly who I was going to say too.
Yeah.
Wow. Look at
When I
that.
think of the Stone Cold, I think of him because one, he won the Rumble by cheating. I don't think anybody's ever done that before. And then the other two big ones, and then coming back in 2001 after injury. Justin, who do you think of when you think of the Rumble? Who's the first person that comes to mind?
It's
I think
funny
I know who
because
you're going to say too, but go ahead.
well, I think I'm gonna like hit you guys with like a curveball here. It's funny because Josh said Shawn Michaels, Dylan had Shawn Michaels, but he also had Stone Cold Steve Austin, and Dan had Stone Cold. I'm gonna say Kane. When you think
Ooh,
about the Royal
Good name.
Rumble, like even before this individual came in to beat his elimination record, Kane held it for a very, very long time, holding what 14 eliminations in one Royal Rumble. Like if I'm correct with 14 eliminations, nobody has ever done that until I believe Roman Reigns, if I'm not mistaken.
I think it was Roman.
Yeah. I
Uh,
think Braun actually has it now. I think he did it in the Greatest Royal Rumble.
That doesn't
Kane,
count.
Kane definitely
Roman, yeah,
Kane
yeah,
could have he should have got some kind of lifetime
yeah.
achievement like win in the Rumble.
Kane definitely is a great name, and he has the most all-time eliminations, and he might even have the most time spent in a Rumble too. But that is dark horse. I didn't even think of Kane, but that is a big name to think of.
Yeah,
That's
Kane.
it.
So I'm gonna go with Kane.
I like that. I like that a lot. And shout out to Mike D. Stefano. He's doing a show later today. Dylan's going to be on there.
Will be.
Um, but yeah, no, I think those are all great answers. Again, I think of Stone Cold because I got to say, back when I was watching that live, I remember, you watched Austin, he gets eliminated and ends up just coming right back in because the refs were distracted. And that was the first time they'd ever done that. So coming up with like fresh ideas to change things, that was great. And that really led to Stone Cold becoming what he was because that ultimately leads to the match with Bret Hart and the switch. Um, now,
Right.
what's the first Rumble that you ever saw, Justin?
Oh Lord. Oh God. Uh, like live or just
Yeah, your
like
first
ever
live one.
in general.
Unless that you watched
Okay,
one,
so
recorded and whatnot. But
I'm gonna name both. The first Royal Rumble I've ever seen is actually the first Royal Rumble DVD I've ever gotten was Royal Rumble 2007, where the Undertaker won, where he eliminated Shawn Michaels in Texas. And
oh
but the
yeah,
first one I've ever seen live was 2008 Madison Square Garden, where John Cena returned at number 30, shocking the world, coming in after like
uh,
X amount of months he was injured, and he was supposed to be out for like however long he came back in a short amount of time. But the Royal Rumble 2008 was the first one I got to see live as it was happening on TV.
Gonna be honest. I know there's a generational gap on how we felt about Cena at that time. I was like, damn it, he's already back. Like that ruined the Rumble. I was like, all right, well, I'm going to bed because he's gonna win.
Come on, really?
I hated John Cena at that point. I couldn't deal with John Cena at that point. Every time he was on screen, I was like, God
Yeah.
damn it, he's gonna win the title again. I can't take this guy anymore. Dylan, what was the first one you ever saw?
The first one live I believe I ever saw was 2010. I started watching like maybe a year or two before then, but obviously we didn't buy all the pay-per-views at that time, so we just got back into it. And we were finally like, the Rumble's the best, and we were watching all the old ones, me and my dad, because that's what got us into it again. And 2010 I think was the first one we bought, and the next year I ended up being at the next one. So
Yes, and I do regret not going to that. I
that
don't
was
know
such a
why I
good
didn't
one.
want to. That was the largest Rumble of all time,
Yep.
if I'm not mistaken.
At the time.
40 man.
But yeah.
The one and only 40 man Rumble is won by Alberto Del Rio. Okay.
He's rumored to come back today, apparently.
You know what? I hope he does.
I fucking hope not. I would leave.
To be honest, there's not a lot of guys that they could probably have that are out there to be surprise entrants that aren't like AEW's not going to let people go jump in the Rumble.
I don't think WWE would let AEW in the ring. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Somebody asked me that in New York when Dylan and I went to New York for WrestleFest last week. Somebody was interviewing me, a guy who does like some interviews. He was interviewing me, and he asked me. He said, "Do you see AEW going into the Royal Rumble?" I was like, "Hell no, no. Why? So they can get squashed and like buried? No. Stay in AEW. Stay there."
They're two companies that have like really good cable network deals. Okay. It's not like, we're going to talk about Mickey James, obviously, because we do want to talk about that. Impact isn't on the level of an AEW. So you can have Impact people, I think, because they're not a threat. But AEW kind of is. And I know people are going to be like, they're not really a threat, but they're the closest thing to a threat.
But low key, like high key, they are. They are a threat.
Josh, what's the first Rumble that you ever saw?
Actually, I'm right there with Dylan. 2010. That was when I was really big on my Shawn Michaels kick. That whole storyline, him wanting the rematch with Undertaker, and Undertaker saying no, and Shawn's like, "All right, screw you. I'm winning the Rumble. I'm going to challenge you at Mania, and I'm gonna beat your ass." Like, that was kind of Shawn's whole thing. So like between that and the other matches on the card were really solid too. I mean, you had Miz versus MVP. Sheamus defending the WWE title, which is a really weird thing to say that far back that Sheamus was WWE champion. But everything there, I had to watch that live.
Yeah.
I had no other choice.
Yeah, no, that was a good one. The first one I ever saw, and it's still my favorite to this day, and I don't think any Rumble has topped it, in my opinion. But 92, and these cool graphics that they used to do.
Wow, yeah.
These were like really, really cool. I remember and I always buy WWF magazine, and like the cartoon like characters of the wrestlers, totally awesome. You got Flair winning it. Flair goes the distance. He came in like number 3. It was just, and one of the best backstage promos ever. With a tear in my eye.
That's a real flattering picture of Ric Flair there.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he was going nuts. And I don't know if you remember in the Mean Gene all of a sudden yells, "Hey, put that cigarette out." No idea who he was talking to or whatever. That was the first one I ever saw. And to be honest, I do believe that's the greatest Rumble of all time. If you go back and watch some of the names, some of the upcoming people in that. The only thing that always kind of not irked me, and I just want to get your guys' opinion on it. Hulk Hogan's the top babyface of the company, right? And Sid is in the match, and Hogan helps Flair eliminate Sid. Shouldn't Sid have gripes with Hulk Hogan enough to want to like destroy him because he was eliminated from the match? But Hogan's the babyface, but he kind of did a heel thing. I don't know. I've always kind of irked me. Like, he's always like, do the right thing. Yet I'm gonna help Ric Flair get Sid eliminated. I don't know.
Yeah, I could see that
Am
being
I
a big.
overthinking this?
It might be a little bit, but I can see what you're saying here.
A little bit, guy. A little bit.
I mean, Sid was pissed,
He was.
and that leads into WrestleMania 8, which obviously it should have been Hogan and Flair. To this day, you can't change my mind on that. But anyways, yeah, awesome Rumble. I'm gonna be watching that later. I don't know how many Rumbles I'm gonna watch today. I already watched 91 in its entirety for the first time last night, which I couldn't
I
believe.
feel like you should watch. I feel like you should watch 2008. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I don't need to relive that. Listen, I'm cool. I like John Cena now. I think he brings a lot, but in that time period, I couldn't stand John Cena, and that's why I always ECW One Night Stand 2006 is still one of my favorite pay-per-views because they gave his business so hard.
Yeah.
He
John Cena put RVD over, which is insane to think about.
I mean, did he? I mean, Paul Heyman's the ref. I mean, they still got away with it a little bit, but that crowd and John Cena, perfect reaction to it.
How do you think Roman Reigns would? How do you think Roman Reigns would fit in an ECW crowd like in that East like 2006?
I don't know.
Depends on the reign. Like if he was newer, like because people started to hate Reigns later because he started.
It also depends on how he's booked. Because the reason we hated Reigns was just how he was booked.
If
2015 Reigns.
Yeah, they would have ate him alive.
They would have hated him.
You know what would have been funny? Send The Rock out there. They probably would have. They booed him at the Rumble. Imagine what those ECW people would have done. Mike Stefano says my first live one was 1988. That makes me old. Yeah, I was only 4. Dylan wasn't even a thought in anybody's mind. I don't think any of you guys were, to be honest. I wasn't.
No, I wasn't even alive. No,
I wasn't even thought of.
Oh, yeah. Actually, no. I take it back.
Well,
I was
born in '94, so.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. I get 10 years on you there. Bobby's saying it was Pat Patterson that they asked to put the cigarette out. I believe that. I actually do believe that.
I can see that.
The cigarette. No.
But yeah, again, my favorite of all time. And I do highly recommend watching that, and then watch the Ric Flair promo because that's Ric Flair at his best. That's Bobby Heenan at his best. That's Mr. Perfect at his best, and Mean Gene, like 4 Hall of Famers right there. All right, now we want to get into this. Let's kind of talk about it. And I didn't really pick mine, so I want to get what your guys are. There's been a lot of moments in the Rumble paper, and I want to stick mainly to what happened in the Rumble. What are we thinking for like top 5 moments of all time in the Rumble?
God.
I don't know if we can figure out what they are together. I'd like to know what you guys think. Maybe we could figure out what our top 5 would be. Dylan, what are your thoughts on that question? I know that's like a loaded question, and there's a lot of Rumbles to think about. But what are the top 5 that come to your mind?
So I wrote down 5 of my personal that I look back and I'm like, these are some of the best. And there's so many more out there that you can talk about, but these are like 5 that came to me. Number 1 is like the show as a whole because I was there. It was good as a whole. 2011's Rumble. I liked Alberto Del Rio, man, and I was happy he won. I was happy it wasn't Cena. That was my biggest fear. Cena was going to win that Rumble. And like you, I mean, like I just wasn't a fan of him at that time. So that Rumble was great. The returns were top notch, and I liked the winner. Number 2, I have AJ Styles' debut. It shook up the landscape of WWE. And number 3, who would have thought? I just remember watching that live. Blown.
Right.
And they fucked up the camera angles of it, but I was still mind blown that AJ Styles came out into a WWE ring.
I couldn't believe that they messed up. Like, we don't know his theme music in WWE, so you're going to you pan to a confused Roman Reigns, who we're also confused, but at the same time, it was so rumored that it was happening.
Yeah.
Like
you could
when that
put
happened,
2 and 2 together.
You knew it was AJ.
But if you watch the Tron, like the crowd's reaction, if you watch the live feed of how it just fades in, it's just the I am, and it slowly builds, and then you just see Phenomenal come up, the crowd pops. Like that would have been great if you just zoomed right in there.
I mean, I liked the camera angle with Roman because, like you said, Dan, we all had the same reaction Roman had. Like, who is this? Like who's coming out? And then, like you said, when the Titantron pinned into Phenomenal, that's when you heard the crowd go nuts, and then that's when you saw AJ Styles come out. And again, at number 3, who would have thought?
Right.
I remember Rusev coming in at number 2. Everyone's like, "Boo!" We're like, "Fuck, where's AJ Styles? He's not coming now." Number 3, AJ Styles,
and he lasted a good 45 minutes in there. Like, what a strong debut in a Rumble match.
Absolutely.
It was really cool. They did it early. I did like how when KO sent him out, he goes, "Welcome to WWE," and threw him over.
Yeah.
I was so amped when he was signed. I think that is one of the most excited I've been for maybe ever that I can think of.
I was happy as hell.
What year is that? It's 2016. I've been a
2016.
huge fan of AJ Styles probably since 2004. So that was a long wait for him to get there. So that was 3. What else do you have, Dylan?
That was only 2. I know.
It's the only time. I'm sorry. I can't keep track of things.
I know. No. I got Shawn Michaels 95 win at number 3 because going the distance, the tight walk at the end. Edge's return in 2020. Who would have thought you'd ever see him in the ring again? And a personal favorite of mine, I just remember watching it with my dad, was Mick Foley in the 98 Rumble coming out not once, not twice, but 3 times. It was just, I just remember laughing every time I heard his other theme song and he'd come running back out because he was just perfectly eliminated right before. I love that moment.
That was absolutely awesome. I love all those moments. This kind of gets me thinking about one thing here. AJ at Pop 4. Edge returning. I think I jumped out of my seat. I'm pretty sure I jumped out of my seat.
I sure did.
Do dirt sheets sometimes ruin these surprises? Because I'm pretty sure I read about both of them because I remember I posted AJ Styles might be the WWE champion by the end of the night because it was the second time the title was on there. But do dirt sheets sometimes ruin these big surprises?
I mean, I stay as far away from dirt sheets as possible.
I can't help myself, so
yeah. I mean, I did not. AJ was rumored for months that he signed with WWE, but there was no official thing that was stated. Like they obviously posted about it. I remember they're like, "Is AJ Styles, Gallows, and Anderson all coming?" That was like the WWE thing of saying they're coming, but Edge's return, completely, I had no idea. And same with Christian the year after. They both got such a pop from me. Just thinking I'd never see him again in the ring, and here they are in the Rumble. Crazy.
I mean, seeing MVP in 2020, I popped hard for that. I was like, no fucking way, MVP, no shit.
And he's still here.
Cool.
Yeah, he's still here, and he's been one of the best parts of Raw in the past couple years. I'm not gonna lie.
Right. If you were to tell me in 2020, MVP is going to come out with the Rumble, I would have been, you're insane. And if you were to tell me he's going to still be here 2 years later, I would have been, okay. I remember 2 nights later, it was MVP versus what was it? MVP versus Rey Mysterio on 2 weeks later. It was MVP versus Rey Mysterio on Raw. I'm like, what year are we in? Was it 2008?
And the thing about MVP was he's like, all right, it was really cool seeing WWE Universe. I hate calling it that, but and I hate when I just did that. I want to say WWE fans one last time, but then he was here, and I have to say, he is such a great. He could do this for another 20 years as a manager. I think he's absolutely that good at it. He could be another Paul Heyman. We're going to talk about that match soon. Josh, I do want to get your top 5.
All right, so I'm actually going to work the opposite way. I'll work myself to my number 1. I share a lot with Dylan actually here. Number 5 for me, coming in strong, not really because of, say, the moment, just because it's what I used to really enjoy about WWE. Back in 2014, we started seeing the cracks in the Shield. Ambrose tried to eliminate Reigns. Reigns didn't get eliminated. Rollins and Ambrose are arguing. Cesaro attacks him. Reigns is like, did both of them try to eliminate me? Dumps all 3 over the top rope. What that leads to down the road. And Dylan, I know you know where I'm going with this because I know you're a Seth Rollins stan. But where that leads to, that was long-term storytelling. That's something we don't get in WWE anymore. So seeing that in the Rumble just for it to play out over the summer, that's long-term storytelling in modern WWE. I loved it. Coming in at number 4, hot and heavy, Spider Morrison. That's what I'm going to call it. Back in 2011, Regal knocks him off. He just flies to the barricade. And, we see Kofi do this year after year, some kind of crazy stunt. But Morrison was the first time we really saw this kind of crazy save where he literally leapt. Like, you got to think, there's probably 3-4 feet between that ring and that barricade. And that barricade is padded, but it's not soft. So for him to somehow latch on and climb back up and jump to the steps, huge athletic feat.
He's a ridiculous athlete.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
like,
all
dude's
hardcore
insane.
expert.
Yeah.
Like, the fact that WWE released him again honestly breaks my heart because he could have done so much more.
It's true.
Yeah.
Coming in number 3.
Tough enough winner. I just want to point that out.
Yeah.
He didn't go to the traditional route. So they found him, but anyways.
Yeah. Coming in at number 3, HBK's win in 1995. But not just because he won. It's because of what that win represented. Because, it was him and Bulldog right at the end. Bulldog threw him over. They started playing Bulldog's music.
Yes. That's
But then HBK comes back in and wins, and everyone's like, what happened? That's when they started using the 2-foot rule to their advantage. They're like, oh, only 1 foot touch the ground. Only 1 foot. He wasn't eliminated. Like that. Like we see it all the time now. Kofi steps on pancakes, uses an office chair. Morrison climbs the barricade. Back then, Shawn only had 1 foot on the ground. That started the whole thing. That was the birth of those events. Number 2, Christian's return in 2021.
Yeah.
That was such an insane moment because, Christian was out with concussions. They had to do the whole unsanctioned match, and they had the blackout punt for him with the whole Randy Orton storyline. But he wasn't cleared to wrestle. So, seeing him come out and have a moment with Edge in the Royal Rumble and them hug it out was a beautiful moment. Wrestling fan or not, that's a beautiful moment because that's 2 best friends who thought they'd never be able to share a ring together.
Can you imagine
sharing a ring together?
If that was actually in front of an audience.
That was an actual arena.
Yeah.
Right. Oh my God. Grown men would be crying.
I was crying.
just on that point, I do want to talk about Josh's number 1. I just want to ask this. WWE as a company, did they miss the boat by not signing him and letting him go to AEW?
100%. 100% missed it.
He would have been a big draw.
They miss like they that man should have been in the Hall of Fame with Edge in 2013.
No doubt.
The fact that Christian is not in the WWE Hall of Fame is like, are you kidding me? Like, look at all the shit that he did with Edge. Look at his storyline with Randy Orton in 2011. That was fantastic.
One of the best.
Fantastic. And now he's like, F this. They don't want to sign me. All right, I'm going to AEW. Good for him. I don't blame him at all. I give my 100% kudos to him because WWE fucked him up, fucked him over.
I have to say his work in AEW has been great.
It's been phenomenal.
He's taken. It seems like he's taken obviously he's older right now. Right. I've seen that he's more like doing like managing with Jurassic Express. But Rampage is now a couple months, since the summer. The biggest pop they've had was when he beat Omega for the Impact title. Like that was unbelievable.
I did not see that coming.
Nope.
Omega bullying him, that was insane.
So I think for Christian though, in my honest opinion, better for him at AEW. Personally, I think it's better because I don't know what they would have done with him in WWE, but I think WWE kind of missed the boat on, there's a lot of merchandise they could have sold through him. There's a lot they could have done Christian wise that they missed the boat on. But anyways,
we could have had Edge and Christian reunite.
Yeah,
for one match.
One match, yeah.
Or like
one night, like going against like the New Day or something. Just one time.
Big time.
Usos.
I mean,
give me that.
Usos, yeah.
Why not a nostalgia one title run like they did with the New Age Outlaws or they did with the Hardy Boys? Every time the Hardys have returned, they've always won the tag titles, like every time. You know? And Mike's saying that AEW knows how to use.
He means tree.
How to use. The other comment says how to use the legends, right?
Yeah, I agree, and they've done a good job with that. They don't need to be their world champions, but they I think everything Christian's done has been great there. But, Josh, what's your number 1?
100%.
Well, I feel like knowing what my number 2 is, we all know where my number 1 is going. The pop of the decade of the century. Edge's return in 2020. No one saw that coming. All right. Sure, he had his spot with Elias at SummerSlam the year prior, but everyone thought that was probably just like a one off. Seeing him, hearing that music and that
Yes.
smoke, and see him come out in full gear and with tears in his eyes, not to rip off Ric Flair here, that made me cry in tears of fucking happiness. All right, like
Right.
I was ecstatic to see him, even though he didn't win.
Chills.
I was happy to see him be able to do this again.
That I mean, I wish I had my reaction for how big I popped at my buddy's house. Like, but I think a lot of people that aren't wrestling fans, they look at that and they don't understand. They're a
Right.
little like they don't understand how much wrestling actually means to the fans of wrestling. And that's one of
Right.
those moments where you're like, this guy's career was over 9 years ago, said he could never do it. He was the world
It was
champion.
taken away from him.
Yeah, exactly. And he was the world champ. He was only in his 30s. He wasn't old for wrestling. And he has to come out I'll be honest, I wasn't watching Raw live yet. I think I was still out. Someone texted me like, "You're not gonna believe this, but Edge just like retired." And I was like, does it I'm like, is what? Because it didn't feel like an angle. If it was an angle, there would have been something leading to it. It was no, he's at the top of his game, and all of a sudden he's out here saying, I gotta be honest with you guys, like I can never wrestle again. And it was like, holy crap. He just has legs cut out from underneath
Yeah.
him. And to see him get cleared and return, like it was an emotional moment for him. It was an emotional moment for the fans, everybody. And it just tells you like how much wrestling means to us, you know. But yeah, unbelievable moment. What is this? Everyone go live. Let's
Don't. I think those are just those
we
are
got
just
bot. We got
got
bots.
some bots in
bots.
here. We made it big.
Wow. We're blocking that
You
user.
know, I wanna piggyback on what you said, Dan. 2011 when Edge retired, I wasn't watching wrestling much. I kind of stopped watching in high school, and I was in high school at that time. But obviously, I knew who Edge was. I knew, growing up watching Edge, TLC, John Cena and Edge, all his storylines with everybody. Mick Foley at WrestleMania 22, and my friend told me, he was like, Edge retired. I'm like, no way. I was like, wait, are you serious? Like, just I had the same reaction as you, and then I had to look it up on YouTube later that night, and I saw his speech telling people he has to retire, and I'm like, damn, man, I cried. It sucks seeing him. That's like our childhood wrestler right there. Like we grew up watching this guy, and like you said, like done, like matter of like moments, like oh, he can't wrestle anymore. But to see him come back in 2020, man, oh. Amazing, incredible, insane.
Yeah, it was one of those things too, because like me personally, I watched the progression of Edge's career. Like I remember when he first came with, he wasn't in the Brood right away. Like I remember he tagged with Sable at like SummerSlam '98, right? And then I think he goes into the Brood. And I was never really big on Edge. Like it took a while. Like I remember being like, then he came back in 04, and I was like, oh, do I kind of like this guy? But then when he turned heel and became the Rated R superstar, I was like, it clicked. I was like, this guy's unbelievable. Like what can't he do? And it's funny. Like you watch the progression, and like we said, then all of a sudden it's like, boom, it's just over in the blink of an eye, and you're like, wow, that sucks, But
I hated him back in 2006. Of course, I was the John Cena mark. I was a baby face. I love John Cena, so I was like, F Edge, screw him, F that asshole. But obviously, as years went on, I got older. I went back to watch. I'm like, damn, this guy. Well, I wish I had the mindset I did when I was 12. Like, damn, this guy's good. Like, holy shit, he's fantastic.
Yeah, but he did his job. You were supposed to hate him.
Yeah.
Oh, I hated him.
Then you got smarks like me, who's in my early 20s at that point, in the Boston Garden, cheering against Cena in his hometown and rooting for Edge. Like, I'm not gonna lie, at SummerSlam 2006, most of like the kids and the women, that's who Cena's audience were. They were cheering for Cena. The men that were 18 to 45 or whatever that demographic is, they're like, Cena sucks, And I think that's what to John Cena's credit, he did his job. That's what the thing was. Hulk Hogan could do it in the 80s, okay, and everybody jumped on board. Then the Attitude Era hit. Okay, so Cena's gimmick only appealed to a certain demographic because the fans had evolved so much since Hulk Hogan. And
Right.
then as time went on, people just really appreciate him. But
Right.
no one else
people were like, "Oh shit."
no one else could pull off the two crowds
No.
like he could. One half the crowd saying Cena sucks, the other let's go Cena. It shows just how talented John Cena really is.
I love that. I mean, I love going to wrestling shows, seeing John Cena wrestle. I mean, I was at Hooters in 2013 for Money in the Bank, and when he was wrestling Mark Henry for the title, like one half was saying, I was saying, "Let's go Cena." Everyone was like, "Cena sucks." I'm like, "Holy shit, this is awesome!" And it's crazy how a wrestler could do that. Like, and like you said, Dan, like that just goes to show us how great he is.
Yeah, there's no mistaking it. And even when I would boo Cena, it's like because some people are like, "How could you boo? Like, do you hate them?" Or and I'm just like, "Well, no, it's just wrestling. Like, you have to understand how wrestling works. Like, we all know
Right.
it's a show. Like, we don't hate the person.
We hate the wrestler,
character."
right? We hate
Yeah.
the character. Exactly.
I will say one time I went to a Limitless show and I love MJF, right? But what's the fun part of MJF's character? Booing the shit out of him. And someone's like, "What? You don't like MJF?" I'm like, "Okay, stop being a mark and enjoy the show. Okay, we need to be booing him. That's the whole point of who he is. You know."
Yeah, funny point about
I
MJF.
remember
When I went to the show in Norfolk, literally, MJF is so good at what he does. We cheered when we heard his music, and then within a minute, we were telling him to shut the F up. Like, that's how quickly MJF can turn anyone against him. Dude is like next level. That same level John Cena was on back then, as far as drawing the proper reaction, MJF's there.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's
that
not fun cheering for him. It's not fun. You gotta
No.
boo him.
You gotta
know?
boo.
What were you
when
saying, Dustin?
no, it's funny because you're saying you gotta boo, you gotta know when to boo. It's just wrestling, you just do it. Like you don't hate the person, you hate the character. When I went to WrestleFest in Northeast Wrestling, Cody Rhodes versus Kurt Angle, I was rooting for Kurt
Oh, you
Angle,
were there?
right?
Oh man,
I was
as
there.
well.
I was at that show for the steel cage match. I was there, and again, I was rooting for Kurt Angle, right? But when he came out, what was I saying? You suck.
The whole crowd.
You suck. And my friend's like, I thought you were rooting for Angle. I thought he was like, Justin, I thought you were rooting for Angle. I was like, shut up.
it's
You
tradition.
suck. I'm not going to
You
miss
can't not do
go,
it. You just can't.
Right.
Yeah.
Every single person there was going for Kurt Angle. Every single person there was saying, you suck. Like,
And Kurt
come on.
Angle has embraced that. That's actually become a part of almost cheering him because it's just what you do when Kurt Angle comes out, you know.
Yeah.
Mike's just commenting. Cena lost the 18 to 49-year-old demo once he went from gangster rapper to Boy Scout. Yeah, I would. Was he really? I would call him a gangster.
I wouldn't
rapper.
say. Yeah, I was gonna say I wouldn't say gangster, but he definitely the rap gimmick was amazing. The Thugonomics gimmick.
Yep.
Love that.
Yeah, I mean, and to find out later, he started just rapping in the back, and they liked it, and the rumor was he was almost let go.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, so
can you imagine that?
Imagine no Cena ever in the WWE.
Well, they would have.
There'd be no spinner belt.
That would have been nice because I hate.
Yeah, that actually would have been great.
See, okay. One last point, and then Justin, I want to get to your top 5.
Yeah.
My only issue with that belt was it was for John Cena. Why did everyone in that time period have to have that belt?
But to be fair, when the Miz had it, you can't lie, that was gold. When he always had it with the M.
With the M.
That was gold. Everybody else was like, eh. But when the Miz did it, I really liked it.
Even when Edge had the rated R one, I was like, just get rid of that belt, please. Yeah. I hate that belt. And then they finally did.
Looking back, I do agree. I do agree that this just should have been for Cena.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. I love it.
Because at one point it stopped spinning at one point. I remember that.
Yeah, they was just like this.
Bobby says John Cena's the Eminem of WWE. He stole all that, all the goat. Yeah, I agree.
He stole that all the goat.
Well, I thought he was more of a Vanilla Ice, and then you know. But anyways, from the goat. All right, Justin, what are your top 5 moments? I bet are they all John Cena
So I'm
moments. Or?
literally, I literally didn't know.
100%.
No. One of them are. One of them are.
Alberto Del
So
Rio winning?
I didn't know that. Excuse me.
I know
Alberto Del Rio winning? Is that
What?
number one? Yeah.
I don't know.
His
All right.
favorite.
Anyway, so
I know we brought you in
so
late.
I'm gonna go
So
back. I'm gonna start. Yeah, no,
yep.
it's all good. So I'm gonna start from number 5, like Josh did. Number 5 would definitely be anything with Kofi Kingston. Anything with Kofi Kingston being eliminated from the Rumble, like just him saving himself. I think I marked out the most. This wasn't. So does this have to be a Royal Rumble match, or can it be like
It can be any
any
moment.
moment?
Any
But I'm assuming
moments.
just okay. So this wasn't a Royal Rumble match. I know this is a Royal Rumble, but I love the elimination that his elimination at WrestleMania 30, where he got thrown over the turnbuckle and he like his both feet hit the stairs. I mean, again, that wasn't at the Royal Rumble, that was at WrestleMania, but that just goes to show how much Kofi Kingston, how creative he is in the aspect of being safe from the elimination. Like that guy could do anything. So number 5 would be anything with Kofi Kingston. Um, Number 4 would be, oh Lord, I wish I wrote these down. I wish I had time to think about these. Number 4 would definitely be probably Edge returning at WrestleMania. Not WrestleMania. The Royal Rumble in 2010. I don't know if you guys remember, but he was injured for a while. The pop from that crowd, like I think Josh Matthews almost cursed on live television because I don't even think he saw that coming. He was like, "Holy," like he had to like stop himself from saying the F word. Um, the third one would be Christian returning in 2021. Second one would be Bianca Belair getting her moment, finally winning the Rumble. I feel like if that happened at an actual crowd with an audience, that place would have went nuts. In number 1, it is a John Cena moment. This holds a very special place in my
Knew it was
heart,
coming.
just because it was the first Royal Rumble I got to see live on television as it was happening, and that was John Cena returning. Madison Square Garden in 2008 at number 30. He won, but he didn't win the title at WrestleMania. But just to see him come back and return at Royal Rumble that year, that was just amazing. That was just incredible for me to witness as it was happening.
No, and I think a lot of people that were big
Yeah.
John Cena fans, that was a big moment. I was just like, I remember when he got hurt. Like, I don't want anybody to get hurt, so don't get this wrong. But I was like, okay,
Right.
we're gonna have
Time
we're gonna have
off.
a break. We're gonna have a break from John Cena, and then it's like he's back early. I was like, it was like
And
there's
there
been
were
a
no
few.
dirt sheets. There were no dirt sheets.
Oh, there
Yeah.
were. I've been reading dirt
Like
sheets since.
nobody
Oh,
saw
you're
that
right.
coming.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. There was no warning. Nothing was
Like
leaked.
nobody knew. Like exactly. Like that was like a genuine pop. Like holy shit, like
What?
he's here.
There was another. Was Jericho 2013 where again that was another one? There was
Yes.
no
Yeah.
rumors
Yes.
about it.
He returned number 2 to after
Dolph
Dolph Ziggler
Ziggler.
came out, because I remember Dolph Ziggler he lost and he had to leave WWE. He left for like 6 months and then he came back. That was awesome.
Yeah, because those are 2 times like there was no warnings or anything about them coming. You guys have hit a lot of ones that I have. I'm gonna throw some other ones out there. Just moments that are unforgettable. 2005, Batista and John Cena botched the ending of the Rumble. I for years believed that was intentional. I was like, okay, they're trying to do something different. We saw that with Bret Hart and Lex Luger both going over. So I thought it was intentional. To find out later, it wasn't. And then Vince McMahon comes out and blows out both his goddamn knees because he's in the gorilla position, marches down the ring, gets in the ring and blow like that was unreal. Like he's just
He
sitting
tore
there
his
like
quads.
like is that what it was? A detour? Okay, yeah,
He
he
tore
couldn't
his
even
quads.
stand up. Like that was pretty unreal. Like those are your 2 future stars of the company. They just messed up the ending of the Rumble, and the boss comes out and injures himself just trying to
The,
get in the ring.
the 2005 Royal Rumble was just cursed,
Yeah.
obviously.
Another moment it was
Oh,
yeah,
that
and I
was
believe
funny.
this was 2005 too. Daniel Pewter and pissing off the locker room. You guys remember like the Tough Enough stuff?
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
Pewter, Kurt Angle on SmackDown. You should never mix reality on a live. Actually, SmackDown wasn't live, but I think you don't start doing real stuff on a wrestling show. Like I don't agree with the Brawl for All, but they were gonna have like a shoot little fight there with Kurt Angle, Daniel Pewter. Daniel Pewter tried to legitimately make Kurt Angle tap out. He put him in some kind of lock, and they did. I don't know if you guys saw it on SmackDown. They did the quick pin count because Pewter was on his back, even though he had him in a submission. The wrestlers were pissed. And if you do remember the Rumble where it's just like
They beat him up,
Benoit,
right?
they beat
It
the
just started. Yeah.
you know. So that I think it was Benoit, Guerrero, Hardcore Holly. Like they made an example out of
Oh,
him.
Hardcore Holly, I heard, was one of the worst one giving him shots.
Oh yeah, he would.
He
You
was
didn't even have to
giving
do
him out.
something wrong
If
for
you,
that guy
if
to
you
come
pissed off
through.
hardcore, if you piss off, but I heard like I also see Tough Enough like hardcore Holly was was a
Really?
real piece of work. Like he
Number one fan right there.
if you piss off hardcore Holly, like he's gonna beat the shit out of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they did. And I mean, his chest was so
It was.
red.
Oh my god.
Deservedly so.
Yeah, he definitely got a beat down that day. Yeah, Daniel Pewter, and they ran him out. I think he won Tough Enough. Miz was in that Tough Enough. I think he's the only one that amounted to anything from that group. Ryback was in it actually. I can't think of who else, but it was very different than the Tough Enoughs they had done before. It was the $1 million Tough Enough or whatever.
The one that the
Um,
Miz should have won, but
I have another one that I
Damn,
didn't see. I didn't see live, but 1990 really the showdown between Hulk Hogan and the Ultimate Warrior. That started to show the build. Like the Rumble's always used to start to build WrestleMania, even going back to that time. And that was like the first, maybe second showdown that starts between the Ultimate Warrior and Hulk Hogan. I think Hogan eliminated the Ultimate Warrior, but they had the stare down at the end. Anytime something goes wrong with the Warrior, he'd just run back to the locker room. But yes, and then that turns into one of my. I know they weren't like the greatest. Warrior wasn't the greatest wrestler, but I still put WrestleMania 6 main event as one of my favorite things ever, because Hogan and the Warrior were everything back then. We talked about the next two that I have. Austin returning into the Rumble after getting eliminated. That's still one of my favorite things because that started. I'd already started to like Stone Cold. That started getting me turning on Bret Hart because I always was Bret Hart, and that's the turning point where Stone Cold started to become cooler than Bret Hart. And then my number one is just Flair winning the Rumble, going the whole distance from number 3, and that promo that he cut after. But yeah, no, a lot of great moments that have happened. Hopefully tonight we get some more.
hopefully.
I'm sure we will. It's a Rumble. Like we're gonna get some awesome memories.
And we didn't have a live crowd last year, so hopefully they've got some things planned. Let's see. Kendall said it's always the runner-up of Tough Enough that has the most successful careers, like recent. Yeah, the Dream, and yeah, I could
Because
see that.
usually it came down to the fan vote, and the Miz was definitely the most talented one, but everybody hated him.
He was the only one that anybody knew who he was.
Exactly, and
you
they,
know.
and they
He was
voted
in like
him.
the real world, right?
Real world, yep.
Like,
Oh,
but,
yeah.
like, do you remember the Tough Enough in 2015? Like they, for some freaking reason, they were trying to put over ZZ.
Oh my god, it was so
Everybody
bad.
hated ZZ. I remember when he was in an interview, he was like, I could do this, like, but you gotta give me like 5 minutes to relax. And I'm like,
That's how
what?
this works, yeah.
Like Triple H was like, bro, what if you're in the main event against me at WrestleMania? Like, you're gonna you think I'm gonna let you rest for 5 minutes? Hell no, there's 90,000 people here. Get your ass up. There's no resting in wrestling. Like, what the fuck?
Do you know how many episodes I watched of that Tough Enough?
I'm gonna say 0.
I didn't think they needed to be resurrected.
No, it didn't.
I enjoyed it. I mean, for what it was, like after like Mata got eliminated and Patrick, I was like, okay. I'm like,
Yeah. Also, I just want to point out, if you are commenting on my private page, I can't see the comments. You do need to post on the Let Freedom Ring page for me to see the comments. I don't know why. It's a technical glitch we're still trying to figure out.
Dan already got some bot comments. So.
Yeah, we got hacked. I thought someone was about to come on screen, but
I saw that
anyway,
thing. I was like, don't do it. I was like, don't click it. Don't click it.
yeah,
Don't
I
click
don't
it.
know. Oh, I must have some followers on that Let Freedom Ring page that are not legit, or it's someone I know just going, nuts. The
Bananas.
pandemic's driven people a little crazy. So,
I'm just messing with you.
um, but let's get to this year's WrestleMania. Let's make some predictions
Royal
here.
Rumble.
Oh, did I say WrestleMania again?
Yeah.
Wow. I think that's why I think of the Royal Rumble so high that I get them confused here. But
Yeah, honestly, the Royal Rumble is pretty much the biggest show of the year.
I've done that
That's
3
what
times.
everybody looks up to more.
Mike Bollier points out WWE legend Mitch from the Spirit Squad was also $1 Million Tough Enough. Oh, okay. So he had a he got on TV. All right. So
do we really just call Mitch from the Spirit Squad a WWE legend? Not everyone that left is a legend.
do we call him a Oh, I think he's trolling us with that comment. Let me see.
I hope.
Just like when they, just like
Yeah,
when
that's
they,
my brother. He's
just like when
trolling.
WWE calls Summer Radio Legend.
Yeah, that's a stretch.
Just like when they call fucking Summer Radio Legend.
Yeah.
I was like, is she? And like, I remember like she came out the video. She goes like, I don't have control what they say. Like I didn't tell them to say that.
Spirit Squad was underrated.
100% Kendall. 100%.
They were all very talented. I had no problem with them being male cheerleaders. Like, but it was weird. Like when they faced DX at 2006, there was a I forget what pay-per-view it was.
Like,
but it was like
they wrestled like 1,000 times.
Yeah, they wrestled a lot.
But DX like originally was the young wrestlers that it was just felt weird that the younger guys were now facing the older guys, but the older guys were trying to act like the degenerates, but like it didn't fit too well. Like you guys are entering your 40s. Like this doesn't feel doesn't seem right.
I love their run 2006. I actually have the DX DVD that came out in 2006. I thought he was Nikki. But I thought their run was hilarious. I loved every single Monday. I was so excited to watch Raw in 2006. I'm like, what is DX gonna do now? Like what can they do next? Like, there's no way they're gonna top what they did last week. And God damn it, they did.
I liked it. I didn't like it because I was like, well, Shawn Michaels is now a born again Christian. He's not going to do any things he did before, and it also felt like the original DX had a very shorter. I don't know. It seemed like a shorter run than the second version of DX, and the second version of DX felt like the real DX. Billy Gunn, Road Dogg. I mean, they were so bitter about that they made the Voodoo Kin Mafia or whatever it was in TNA. Like they're bitter that they were not part of that new DX. But yeah, no, great stuff. All right, let's get to some predictions here. We got for the Raw Women's title here, Becky Lynch, the man, versus Doudrop.
I don't know if this one's going to require a lot of talking.
Becky Lynch.
Fair enough.
Becky Lynch.
Yeah.
I think that's the roundtable answer, but I do want to. I almost talked about this before the show. I wanted to save it for on the show. I want to give some praise to Becky Lynch because since being back, I know she absolutely shouldn't have won the title the way she did, but I feel like on Raw, her storylines have been very good. Like against Liv Morgan, I thought that was phenomenal, and even the build up to this match. That I'm not gonna lie, it doesn't really have much of a draw for me, but it's been entertaining. The promos, the back and forth thing they've had going on. So Becky's been doing her thing. I just want to shout her out.
Can I raise my hand? I have something to say. And y'all could whatever, validate or confirm, stamp it what I said in the start. When you said that Becky Lynch was wrestling Doudrop, I'm like, wait, really? I had no idea. I didn't even know Becky Lynch was wrestling tonight.
They need some way for her to face. I mean, and Liv Morgan.
They botched her.
I'll pass on that. I'll take.
I have a lot. No, listen. I have a lot to say once we get to the Rumble. So I'm gonna say what
Josh,
I'm gonna say.
any take on this?
Well, Becky Lynch is gonna win. I mean, 100%. Now, I will say.
Oh, Josh, I think your mic is. We're having a hard time hearing you.
Yeah, you followed me.
It just seems further away. I don't know.
Yeah, it seems further away.
All right, improvise. I can hear you, but it just seemed
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like different than it was before.
Yeah, I think something happened here.
How the hell is Dewdrop still employed with WWE?
She's not that bad. I mean, I don't know much about her, but
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. It's just not like it was.
Yeah, this is acting really weird.
Ooh, that was a little better.
Still?
Yeah.
Yeah, not really.
Sorry, buddy. It's all
We
right.
can hear you. We can
Yeah,
hear
you just
you.
do your thing.
So, I'll try to speak up a little bit to compensate. So, I will say I want an asterisk next to this. I think Becky Lynch is going to win. I don't think Dewdrop stands a chance. If Dewdrop was still Piper Niven, she would stand a chance.
Yeah.
The main roster has absolutely butchered her as a wrestler, as a character, everything. This Dewdrop crap is stupid. It's because of Eva Marie, who's not even with the company anymore. So, shut up, Kendall. So, if it was still Piper Niven, yes, she would stand a chance. I still think Becky would win by a little. But Dewdrop? No. No chance. No chance in hell.
No, but they're both heels too, so that's kind of like heel
Yeah.
versus heel match. I'm going Becky Lynch too. I also want to give Becky credit for it. There's not a lot of women that have come back after pregnancy and been on the roster full time. I can't think of
Yeah.
anybody. Trish Stratus started having kids. That was it. One-off matches. Pretty much anybody that was a full-time wrestler.
Becky
you
looks incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Becky looks insane.
You could
But can I
argue
say-
she looks like she's in better shape now than she did before.
Oh yeah, 100%. Can I say one thing? Sorry to cut you off, Dylan. Dylan, you said it's heel versus heel. In my opinion, my personal opinion, maybe you guys will agree. I don't think there are faces in heels in wrestling anymore,
There should be, if
especially in
there's not.
WWE.
I disagree, but I don't know.
I felt like
They
that.
have a lot of storylines where some people are a little more flip floppy, but they've always had those guys that were tweeners.
I think they're still. I think.
It's a big
I
part of
mean,
WWE.
I mean, Becky coming out and bashing Liv Morgan, saying she can't. I mean, she was basically bullying her. That's
Yeah.
pretty heel.
That was definitely
yeah.
a heel. Yep.
You know, but
Dewdrop
some
has
people.
not
I
been
just-
faced at all. That's for sure.
Yeah,
I'm just always going back to thinking like 2006. My mind is like 2006, 2008. Heels and faces. You know when Great
There's some
Khali,
people-
obviously heel.
some people blur the
Umaga,
lines.
obviously, he was
That's
a
what
heel.
I'm saying. There's definitely tweeners where it's a weekly thing, but most guys, most superstars.
I mean, I'm
Obviously, Edge
rocking
heel.
Braun Breaker. 1 minute he kind of feels like a babyface. The next minute when he was with the New School, that felt like a heel because obviously Carmelo Hayes is a heel, Grayson Waller is a heel, D'Angelo is a heel, and he's teaming up with them to face. So yes, there are times where they're definitely blurring the lines. Braun Breaker's obviously a babyface.
Yeah.
Maybe that's it. Like you guys said, they're like blurring the lines. Like it's not. Is it consistent though? Like, do you think it's a consistent thing happening week after week after week after week? Like some of these wrestlers aren't just making it believable. Like I don't believe so and so as a heel. I don't believe so and so as a face.
I'd
I mean,
say yes. I think
one
yes.
minute Lashley's a heel, the next minute he's a babyface.
Hmm.
Like I'm not sure where Lashley falls right now.
I think he's a heel.
I'm not sure where
Dylan-
Brock falls right now.
Dylan's like
Brock's a
Justin.
face.
Dylan's like Justin. Shut the fuck up. You know what
I
you're
just
talking
no. I feel like we have different opinions on this, and that's good. I see it the other way. I think there is. I think more people blur the lines than others, and maybe that's even just WWE alone. But that is good for wrestling. You can't really have one way.
Right.
I agree. Here's one I'm really looking forward to. Mixed tag. Beth Phoenix getting back in the ring with her husband Edge. Miz and Maurice getting back in the ring. I think this is fun. I think it's a fun match. Dylan, what are you thinking? What's your
I
prediction?
think this is a fun match. I've enjoyed the storyline between Edge and Miz, and I've enjoyed bringing in the couples, the relationships. That's almost more real.
Right.
for
Yes.
WWE to do, and I like that. They did that a couple years ago when Cena was with Nikki Bella. Miz and Maurice did their thing. Daniel Bryan, I think, done over. But I like when they do that because that's real life. So I think because they want to continue the storyline, I actually see the Miz and Maurice getting it done. I think they got a lot of chemistry in the ring together.
They need
Absolutely.
they need to.
They need a win. Yeah.
Miz and Maurice need to go over tonight. Edge and Beth Phoenix, they don't need this win. I feel like it's just something that doesn't need to happen. Excuse me. Miz and Maurice definitely need to go over in this match. Same with Dylan. I'm assuming he's picking Miz and Maurice. I'm going the same direction he is. Miz and Maurice is my pick.
Josh, what are you thinking?
So I'm actually going to go the opposite way. I'm not going based on what I want to happen. I'm going based on what I think Vince will want to happen.
True.
Edge and Beth, I 100% see Vince booking them to win. I do feel Miz and Maurice do need the win more for this storyline. But considering all the hype and the entrance for Beth and all that, no, they're gonna win. Like 100%, they're gonna win. But I could see, to save the storyline, Miz and Maurice attacking Beth or something and enraging Edge, and they end up having a one-off at WrestleMania to end the storyline, like some kind of weird stipulation or something. 3 stages of hell, maybe. I don't know. It'd be nice to see that match again. But I think Edge and Beth, as far as victory, they'll win.
Mike Bollier commenting, Beth and Edge going by great couples, extremely lame. Mike's the biggest Miz fan you'll ever meet. I agree. Oh yeah, he loves the Miz.
Mike is awesome. I love the Miz too, man. Miz is awesome.
Yep.
I'm going.
MJF's better.
I think they're different. I'm kind of getting sick of the MJF Miz comparisons.
The big comparison.
Miz said he wants to be the first MJF. I agree. And then MJF actually said a nice comment about the Miz. Like that was not traditional, something you see him do on social media. I'm going Miz and Maurice because if Edge and Beth win, this is over.
Yeah, that's what it's over.
I mean, how many times? And I also think like Maurice has shown that she's a coward so many times with Beth. She's got to have something up her sleeve to one up Beth Phoenix tonight. She has to. If she doesn't, then why did we invest any? I just think it was a waste of time for us. Unless you just want to do a one-off match, you're like, all right, yep, they won. Okay, move on. I don't know.
Could be.
So we got some more comments here. Speak up, Josh. something nice about that.
Nobody here saying that.
Never.
Man. The funny thing is the Cowboys are never winning another Super Bowl. So if Miz loses, we riot.
Kendall's about to leave. Kendall's about to like unsubscribe.
And Bobby William, my other brother, comments, MJF is a poor man's Paul Roma. Wow. What a comment. Oh, the troll comments have started. Keep them coming. All right. How
many brothers do you have?
3.
Wow.
Yeah, they're all here. We're snowed in. We're getting ready for one of the best holidays.
Oh, you guys are all chilling right now.
Yeah, I'm at my brother. No, it's different background.
I was about to say it's a new setup. Yep.
You know, so all right, we've hit that. Now let's get into the big.
Oh yeah,
championship matches.
Here. Oh yes.
I know Dylan's gonna. He just went from 6 to 12. We got Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins.
Hey, say it right.
Seth freaking Rollins.
That's right.
I have that. I might have gave that shirt away, but I did have that shirt at one
still
point.
Have mine.
So did I.
I gained weight. It doesn't fit. I think I gave it away. But I'm actually looking really forward to this, and I didn't think I would at first. Let's start. You know what? This is Dylan's guy. Dylan, you go first. Who are you picking here?
All right. Well, my pick's very clear.
And now, just for the record, Kendall's now calling the Cheatriots. Y'all ain't shit without Brady. Okay. Yep. We'll see about that. We'll win a Super Bowl before you guys.
We don't need him.
Definitely. Yeah. Kendall's comments got stopped.
We're getting graphic here today.
We are. The trolls are here. I am taking my guy, Seth freaking Rollins, just like I did at day one, which he was scheduled to win. I'm not going to talk fully about this because it bleeds into other stuff, but I think It is Seth Rollins' time to reclaim a world championship. It's been far too long. He's been killing it for the last 2 years. It's time for some championship reigns for him. It's heel character has been great.
Ooh, and Mike Stefano, a Brooklyn guy, he's crapping on the Cowboys.
Yo, the next comment is
I,
savage.
I do like that take. All right, well, I'm gonna give mine. Justin, Josh, then me. Let's for picks here.
Seth Rollins is going over tonight. I got Seth Rollins dethroning Roman Reigns.
Actually, yeah. And one thing, Kendall, people in glass houses can't throw stones. The Astros legitimately
cheated
with one of the most elaborate cheating things I've ever seen. This has turned into a roast of the Cowboys here. He's a Giants fan, so enjoy your basement.
Oh, man.
All right, Josh, you're up. They're getting interesting today. Josh, you're up. Oh my God.
So, Dylan,
there's nothing wrong with living in the basement.
I'm gonna need you to stay calm when I say this.
Seth Rollins
is gonna go over, but not cleanly.
I like that take
At all.
I
have a whole. I think a certain somebody. We can address it after the next couple of predictions. I think a certain somebody is going to cost Roman the title, and that's going to lead to a very big WrestleMania match they've been talking about for months.
I think we have the same mindset. I just didn't want to go into it too much.
Y'all got like that telepathy going.
Yeah, yep.
I'm gonna go. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Roman. I think this title reign has gone so long. The only place I think he should lose it is WrestleMania, or go a full 2 years as champ and lose at SummerSlam. That'd be kind of cool. But I want to see someone that needs a rub to win the title. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but like Seth Rollins has done everything you could ever do in the wrestling business. Okay, he's
Dylan.
First ballot Hall of Famer, Dylan.
Absolutely.
I do like Seth Rollins. I just like to crap on him because you like him. But I will say, I just don't think. I think like the Roman losing the title should be a really big deal. And again, they could do whatever they want.
I mean, to be fair, I think the Rumble is a big deal. I don't think you can only look at the Royal Rumble match as the big deal of the show. Like, this is one of the big 4 shows of the year. If you want to look at a WWE cycle.
Yeah, let's not forget that The Rock took the title off of Punk at the Royal
Rumble. That's what I'm saying. That was incredible to believe that happened.
My God, these comments today, I'm loving it. I what I'd like to see, and I don't know who it is, and we'll get into our Rumble picks as I didn't even think about it yet. I'd like to see someone new up and coming win the Rumble and challenge Roman Reigns for the title at WrestleMania. Am I going to get that? Probably not. But ideally, that's what I'd like to see. Someone new be champion, and they're the ones to knock off Roman Reigns. That used to be cool. That used to be a thing they would do. So we will see here.
But Josh knows, Dylan knows, I know, and Dan, we're gonna get something that we've seen 300 times before. At WrestleMania.
Well, because what's going to probably, if you ask Dylan if he wants Seth to win the Universal, I have Seth win the Rumble, and I have Seth win.
I mean, personally, I don't want that to happen, but I do want him to win the Universal title. I don't want the titles unified.
No. I don't want unification again. That didn't work last time.
Can we just bring back the big gold and get rid of the Universal title?
Love the big gold belt. I loved it. Agree. All right, here's the match.
This new belt design is so cheesy.
I do like the blue better than the red, though.
The blue is fire. The blue is really good. I like it a lot.
Here's the match that I've been looking forward to for probably about 4 years since Lashley returned, and that's Lashley versus Brock Lesnar for the WWE title. Wouldn't even be mad if this goes on last, because to me, I never look forward to something more than the Rumble. I'm actually looking forward to this more than the actual Rumble. Josh, who's winning it?
Dan. don't hate me when I say this,
Okay.
but I mean every word I'm about to say. As much as I'd love to see a knockdown, drag-out fight between these two, we also need to remember what Brock's last few matches have basically been. Brock is going over, retaining the title in a finisher jamboree with 7 F5s, 5 spears, 3 full Nelsons, 1 Kimura lock that's going to make the crowd pop, and
I
then
hope
another
so.
F5 on top of it to pin him.
So, okay, going Brock. Bobby's saying Dominic versus Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. Brock only needs 13 seconds.
It is
Can we
funny.
just
We
get-
talked about that in our group chat.
Can we get Dominic off TV?
Damn, Bobby.
We were
get him
literally
off
just
TV.
talking about this.
Justin, who
The
who are you
Omos.
predicting? This is the second time I've heard someone say Omos is winning.
People are saying it. I've had multiple people say Omos.
We'll get to the Rumble picks in a second.
Do you remember what I said I'd do if Rousey wins? I'm doing the same if Omos wins.
They might both.
I mean,
Why?
Omos would be a fresh
I-
face winning it.
Hey, it's my turn.
Yeah, you're up, Justin. Who you got?
No, I'm just fucking with you guys. All right, one, I have not 3, but just 2 complaints about this. Maybe I'll have a third one after I say this too. One, why is this happening at the Royal Rumble? And not
Again,
WrestleMania.
You gotta
And
build
2,
other shows up, man.
I'll tell you why.
No,
when
I
get
get
pick.
that. I get that. But 2, why is it for the title? It doesn't have to be for a title. That's just my opinion. All right, you guys disagree. Maybe you agree. I don't know. I don't care. Brock's winning. There's no way they're gonna drop a title. There's no way they're gonna put Bobby Lashley over. Not to say he's a bad wrestler. That's something on Bobby Lashley's behalf. But I just like I don't see Bobby Lashley winning tonight. I see Brock retaining.
Dylan?
Well,
Brock-
I'm just
Brock's
gonna
my pick.
counter. I'm gonna counter Justin a little bit. They easily could. Bobby's a dominant figure. This is a dream match. I
course.
agree. It doesn't need the title, and that's when it should happen at WrestleMania. But I'm happy to get the dream match. You know, you gotta take what you can get.
Of
sometimes.
course.
I
Right.
have taken Brock Lesnar to win this match because I believe other things will happen, but the vice versa could easily happen tonight. So I'm gonna leave it at
Jack
that.
Gonzalez. His comments today. Let me tell
Comments
you.
have been top notch.
Yes, we
The
need more.
comments are making the show, honestly.
Yeah.
We're just here.
So my pick is also going to be Brock Lesnar, but I will say this because I believe it's Brock Lesnar because ultimately, now that Brock missed that match because of he didn't miss it. Roman missed it because of COVID at day 1. I think now the plan is that now we'll have Brock versus Roman at WrestleMania. I don't know what's going to happen there. Like, it could be a champion versus champion. Doesn't mean it has to be unification. I feel like that's where they're building. But other part of me also says, like, do they get the title off Brock? Because obviously the title was just put on him because they're like, oh, let's shock them tonight because Roman has COVID. So just have Brock win the WWE title. Like, that should get a good pop.
Mm-hmm.
The only way Lashley
It got a good
beating
pop,
him-
but like
That's all.
Go ahead, Josh.
So that's all part of like my whole theory. I think Brock, because I can't see them taking the title off Brock, which sucks because Reigns has had such a great run. But knowing how both of them have been booked, knowing how both matches have been booked, how every character's been booked, I can see Brock going over, costing Reigns the title against Rollins, and then Reigns
Yeah,
doing something drastic later on tonight.
something to do with
A
the
match
number
for the
30
WWE title
pops into
at
my
Mania.
head.
Yeah, something to do with the number 30.
It
I don't
really-
know why I'm thinking 30. But
See, part of me thinks
yeah,
that
we're on the same page.
No, I knew we were on the same page as soon as you made your pick.
one of them could be costing the other the championship because I could see somehow Roman or the Bloodline get involved and they cost Brock the title against Lashley. Gives
That's what I
Lashley the
see
win
more, but
because
I think it makes
then
more sense.
you guys are like, like that telepathy is going towards
it's too much.
Josh and Dylan. Dylan, I thought you and I had that connection, but I guess we don't have
I
that
know.
anymore.
You've been
I don't know
gone
what's
for
going
so
on.
long.
I know. I'm sorry.
This is really hard to pick. The easy pick is Brock Lesnar, right? But I think there is a chance that Dave Meltzer said Ray wins tonight. Multiple sources subject to change. All right.
Seth Rollins versus Rey Mysterio at WrestleMania. Run it
Man,
back.
Uncle Dave says a lot of crazy things, but I'm gonna stick with Brock. But there is a chance that Lashley wins with help of the Bloodline, and then you can build towards Brock. I don't want to see champion versus champion. I definitely don't want to see unification match. I like the two champions. All right,
WrestleMania. Right.
let's get into the last two things here, and those are the Rumble matches. We're gonna start with let's start with the Women's Royal Rumble. If you guys give me a winner, who's going to be in the final four? We want to point out Mickey James, first time ever a contracted Impact wrestler is on WWE television, I believe. No, I guess Christian went on to Impact once, and then Flair was under contract when he was inducted with the Horsemen. But first time they're actually wrestling. Dylan, let's start with you. Who's winning? What's your final four?
You know what? I gotta say this Rumble's been booked quite well. I think I had a pick and then
Christ. Unsolvable JB.
Kendall, man, he's on fire tonight.
Yeah,
he's on fire. He's on fire. I want to see it happen. Book it. I think the Women's Rumble's been booked better than the men's this year. I think there's a lot of people that I could see winning it. I don't even know a final four. My pick to win it was Lita, but I've actually changed it to Sasha Banks after her return.
Yes. Yeah. Because I thought she was hurt. She showed up last night.
She showed up. She said she wasn't going to make it, and she was my pick originally a couple months ago. So I've tossed out my other picks and Liv Morgan. I don't see winning, and I want Alexa, but I don't see them putting her over. They like to just shoo her away now. But final four, I could see Lita, Charlotte, Sasha Banks, and maybe they'll give the nod to Liv Morgan at the end, being final four.
She cannot talk. Just keep
her mic skills are terrible. I will agree with you there. But I love her in the ring.
Painful.
I think she's great.
Josh, who you got winning? Who's your final four? Oh, I would like that, Mike. Yeah.
My final four. Right? I'd be down with Lita winning. Unfortunately, I don't see that happening. Final four, I got Liv Morgan making it to the end. I got Sasha making it to the end. I got Mickey James making it to the end.
No shot they give her that run.
They owe her.
And the dark horse that's severely rumored to be returning tonight, I have Ronda Rousey in the final four. But I have Sasha winning it because I don't want either of those other three to win.
Justin, who are you going with? Final four and your winner.
So final four, my winner. My final four I would like to see Mickey James, Lita. I don't know who's in it. Sorry, my dad was talking to me about something. I would like to see Lita. I would like to see Mickey James. Sasha Banks. Sasha Banks is my girl. I love Sasha. And Liv Morgan. God damn it. Even if Liv Morgan doesn't win, have her be like in the final four. Not only the final four, the final two. That's it. My pick to win is Sasha.
Justin wants Ronda to win.
Justin wants Ronda to win. Hell no, I don't. Yo, I was pissed when she won the title of Alexa Bliss at SummerSlam.
I was too. I love Alexa.
I'm gonna make my. I
love Alexa. I hated Ronda.
I like Ronda when she was heel. I didn't like babyface Ronda, but I will. So my final four, I am gonna put Mickey James there. I think this is like a. Well, Mickey also, they're short on female wrestlers to fill a full Rumble.
True. That's true.
You go with old reliable Mickey James, she'll do it, but she's under a contract. They also were really crappy to her, or the guy who got fired put her stuff in a trash bag. I think WWE regretted that. I think Triple H specifically.
Mark Carano who did that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was there for years too. I remember him on Total Divas, seeing him on all those shows.
So I do think WWE is we released her, but we didn't mean to disrespect her. Maybe they give her a final four spot. I hope they let her come out to her TNA theme and with the TNA title, TNA Impact title. I would love to see. I got her in the final four, just because I think they know that this is kind of something special. They might just say, "Yeah, we don't care." I would love to see her win, and it'd be cool if they ever did the crossover Impact champion versus whatever, women's champion. Obviously, you don't have her win, but
Is
Mickey
this
James will Mickey James will always be synonymous with WWE, not
Yeah.
Impact Wrestling. Just
is
for the
this
record.
WWE's ways of opening the forbidden door?
That will
Uh,
forever be shut for WWE. I'm
I
sorry.
think this is the like again, they just need bodies in there, and Mickey James is a star. Impact contracts are not like WWE contracts, so it'd be cool if they did open up because Impact is not a threat to them in
No.
any
Oh.
shape or form. Oh yeah, Mike Carano threw her stuff in a trash bag. Yeah. So
I'm actually changing my winner actually for the Rumble. Nikki Bella is winning.
Oh God.
Go away, Justin.
I got Charlotte in the final four. I know she's a champion
yep,
going into
yep.
this. I have Sasha, and I got Rhea Ripley. We'll go like with the simple
She's there
pick.
last year.
And I'm gonna go Sasha. I think Sasha returning last night is gonna be. She hasn't won it yet, right?
She's
So
winning tonight.
she's probably my
Unfortunately, we're
favorite.
going to have to see Sasha versus Charlotte for the 1,000th time, but
Not against it because it's been a long time.
it's been a while.
I'm against it. I don't want to.
I'd rather see Sasha versus anybody else, considering the rosters.
I'd love to see
Uniform.
Sasha win the title at Mania. She put over Bianca last year.
Mhm.
We
you
could also see Bailey returning tonight as well.
Oh yeah,
I'm
yeah.
fine
I
with
forgot
that.
she's not a
She's
big Bailey
great.
fan,
I
but
love her heel
but
stuff, man.
Oh, she's
Heel stuff
awesome as a
great.
heel. Fantastic.
All right, and here it is. Oh geez,
I'm hungry.
that's not it. The men. Is this last year's picture? Did I
No,
mess
it's
this up?
this
Okay.
year's. It just
All right.
looks so
This
weak.
is here.
Yeah.
This is
All right.
Who's Johnny Knoxville?
Oh, there he is. Yeah. Oh, he looks so menacing. I'm so scared. We get the men's Royal Rumble here. Let's get
I thought Drake Maverick for a second.
Yeah. Well, he could be a surprise entrance. He's nowhere to be yet. But Josh, final four and winner.
Final four.
You were not showing the
I
wrong
got
one.
reasons
Right
for
one.
two of these guys. I think McIntyre is going to be final four. AJ Styles is going to be final four. I think Big E is going to be final four because after how they built it up last night with him and Kofi teaming, I feel like Big E is 100% eliminating Kofi in the Royal Rumble tonight. I 100% feel that way. He's going to eliminate Kofi. And then taking out the number 30 entrant and entering the Royal Rumble and also being part of the Final Four is Roman freaking Reigns. That's right, I stole Seth Rollins' name, Dylan. Roman freaking Reigns. And then for the winner, again, Roman freaking Reigns.
You're stealing a little too much catchphrases here, but all out.
Copyright infringement there.
Yeah.
Believe it.
I love how
Believe that,
Dylan
but
goes,
okay.
"I'll allow it."
Justin, what are your picks?
I don't care, honestly.
Oh,
the
wow.
men's match, I don't really.
That's
I'm
a
sorry.
Hot take.
I'm sorry, y'all. I really don't care.
Well, name
We
the
all
winner.
know Roman.
I did not show the wrong
100%.
picture. You're going Roman?
Roman.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
So he's going to lose the title. Okay. All right. Dylan, what do you got?
He's dropping the title. Seth's winning the title. Roman's coming in to win the Rumble.
It is funny. We do all three have that same. I think Roman Reigns comes out. Maybe it's not number 30, but I have him coming out number 30. I think the final four is going to include Omos. I think it's going to include Roman Reigns because he's winning it. I think it's going to include AJ Styles. And then I honestly see Sheamus being in the final four. He's been booked pretty well as of late. So I could see him being in the final four.
All right, I'm going to go. All right, so I think if I'm reading things correct, Vince McMahon is really high on Austin Theory. I'm not saying Austin Theory is going to win the Royal Rumble, but I think he's going to be in a Final Four. I think that's the next young guy that they're starting to look at for a potential future. He stole the egg. I mean, what gets more over than stealing an egg? That's worth billions of dollars.
To take a fucking selfie with it.
So I'm going to say Austin Theory makes the Final Four. I am going to say AJ Styles is in the Final Four. I'm going to throw one SmackDown guy. Is Cesaro? He's healthy, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're just gonna throw Cesaro out there because I can't think of anybody else. Ezekiel Elliott wins the Rumble. That'd be a
these
cool
comments
comeback.
that I do.
And then I'll throw Big E. And I think tonight, I think AJ Styles is my pick. I think that's like the last thing that he really needs to do on a Hall of Fame career. There's no one that is sticking out in my mind that, this Omos talk, get the hell out of here. I don't want to hear any more of this Omos. Omos is going to be in the Rumble for a lengthy period of time.
He's going to have a lot of eliminations.
A lot of eliminations. But the big man, when has the big man ever won?
Braun Strowman in the greatest Royal Rumble ever.
Can I say one thing?
That doesn't count.
So I can see them pushing Omos to break the record for most eliminations tonight.
Sure.
Maybe.
I hope they don't. I'm tired of this being an every year thing, but
right. But I mean, if they're really that high on Omos and he's not going to win the Rumble, they'll probably just be okay. Eliminate 14 people or something. I don't know. When we're playing football this year, haha.
Oh man,
I'd rather have Ezekiel Jackson. Oh,
that's a burn. Another burn there. Kendall getting the business. Yeah, I don't know. I don't understand this Omos take. I don't know what he's done recently that's making people think that he's winning the Rumble.
He did beat AJ Styles.
And then who's his feud with next? Reggie. And I love Reggie. Don't get me wrong. Wow, the disrespect. Yeah, I don't have Omos. I got AJ as a almost. I'm gonna say this is an AJ Lifetime Achievement Award here. We're gonna let you win the Rumble. I can't think of anybody else that sticks out. I'm probably wrong, but I'm leaning towards AJ.
AJ does deserve a Rumble win.
It'd be cool. It'd be really cool. So we will see.
Don't get it twisted. I'd love to see AJ win. I just think Reigns will.
Johnny Knoxville wins the whole thing. I wonder what Johnny Knoxville
wins the whole thing. If Johnny Knoxville fucking is in the Final Four, for example, I'm leaving my friend's house.
Now, do we have any predictions for any returns or, like one-offs tonight? Because I have 2 people in mind, or 3, that I want to see. I want to see Alberto. I want to see Elias. If Elias isn't in this Rumble, I'm going to be very upset. And I would like to see a surprise appearance from Shane O'Mac. I've heard he's rumored.
I've heard the Shane O'Mac rumors.
I want to see it.
I believe that one.
If Del Rio returns tonight, I'm going to be mad. Like, why?
Come on.
Johnny Burke might actually make an appearance.
Johnny Burke he's been so quiet today and yesterday. I hope he's booked, man. Book him in the Rumble.
Get him in. He's unstoppable. He's taken a cup to the face. He's flicked the guy off.
Yep.
Nothing gets over more than that.
Come on.
I don't know. I can't think of anybody who's not under contract somewhere that potentially. I'd like to see
talks that Moose does show up. I'd be fine with that.
Why not?
But he's under contract. It's one of those things where it's like it's tricky waters.
Big Cass, he's with
Impact.
Yep.
I'd like to see. I think
I make a Rumble appearance.
I think more of the Jackass guys are going to get involved just as well because I don't know if you guys saw it. Brock was hanging out with them last night and threw Wee Man through. He didn't actually break the table. Yeah, it looked like it really hurt.
Yeah,
So I wouldn't be surprised if the Jackass guys have more involvement in the show. I can't believe these guys are still doing these stupid stunts at their age. How Steve-O is alive, I don't understand.
How any of them are alive.
Yeah. So I think I think we might see more of the Jackass guys get involved somehow. I don't know how many will be in it. I do highly recommend, though, one final note. If you get a chance to see the Umaga beatdown on Steve-O and the other guy, that is like, and watch the audio that Steve-O, he didn't understand he needed to stay down, and then Umaga kept getting the crap out of him. Jay White spotted in St. Louis. Oh,
I mean, there's a lot of Kurt Angle was spotted. There's a lot of people spotted there. It's interesting to see who would actually wrestle.
Y'all remember when the rumors were coming around that Kenny Omega was going to make an appearance at the 2019 Royal Rumble?
Yeah.
Where the hell did that come from?
Yeah, you mean
people
the internet?
Shit up, man.
You can say anything on the internet,
We'll make
Umaga, I agree.
You might do it
I agree.
tonight. You know, hashtag belt collector.
I want to see Umaga in, but I'd love to see Bam Bam Bigelow get in before anybody because I'm getting a little annoyed that he's not in already. But anyways, that's going to do it here from Let Freedom Ring. We want everybody to enjoy the Royal Rumble tonight. Most of us are snowed in, so stay safe, stay off the roads, be smart. But yeah, any final thoughts, guys?
Not much. Just like you said, enjoy the Rumble. Hopefully, it's a good one this year.
All right, awesome.
Right,
Well,
exactly, Kenny.
if you get the chance, like the Let Freedom Ring page, subscribe on YouTube. Also, check out Nerds of Wrestling, one of the best wrestling groups on the internet. But again, everybody, and one final comment from Kendall: Cowboys suck. But everybody, everybody, enjoy your day and enjoy the Rumble and continue to Let Freedom Ring.